What in the heck is actually wrong with Chrystia Freeland? Now, Justin Trudeau has been campaigning around the country and trying to show his face at different places. Here he is counting samosas for some factory. I don't know if this worked out well for him.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4. Shit.
Yeah, he lost count at 20. That's correct. The Prime Minister of Canada, the guy who represents all of us on the world stage, lost count at 20. Now, he's been famous for his identity politics. And some of that identity politicking has been getting him in hot water today. He was chased out of a restaurant in Vancouver over his opinions on Middle Eastern conflicts.
Fire now! Fire now! Shame on you! You have blood on your hands! Call for a ceasefire! Call for ceasefire! Call for ceasefire! You have blood on your hands!
Anyway, I'll just leave that one right there. Of course, also making some pretty idiotic statements while he was out here in British Columbia.
See, climate policy is economic policy.
Well, that would explain a lot, wouldn't it? That would explain a ton. But while he's out there having fun, talking with, premiers of provinces that still actually get along with him, unfortunate for all of those poor souls in British Columbia, we still have a deputy prime minister who's at the helm. And what is going on with this one? Now, I've made jokes about her twitching and said, give her a break, ladies and gents. She might be having trouble. Such a tiny vessel might have a hard time holding in all those demons. And this is, of course, a joke, but it is really manifesting itself as something really bizarre. And a lot of people are pointing this out. What is actually wrong with this woman? And why is she so dang twitchy? Very normal human-like behavior from Canadian Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, points out Wall Street Apes on Twitter. But this isn't the only time this has been pointed out. Now, there was this new famous picture that came out where one of the demons appears. And this is one of those rare photographs of her with her fangs out. Most people would call this a smile, but this is one of those moments where you actually get to see the incisors on the Deputy Prime Minister herself. Now, this isn't the only bit of footage. There's so many other cases where people have shown just the amount of twitchiness and what's been going on. I tried to do a Google search, is Chrystia Freeland on drugs? The only thing that turned up was some 7-year-old Reddit post asking the same question, and people basically just alluding to, maybe she is, we don't know, we have no idea. But nothing has been addressed about the twitchiness of this Deputy Prime Minister. But, there is speculation online, of course, and some comparing her to, a family heirloom of her past. Someone her family in the past has been very fond of. Nonetheless, a rather amusing twist. We find twitchy Freeland seemingly paired with none other than Clankety Clank funny mustache man himself. Allegedly, he had a fondness for notorious substances, which I can't say because I don't want it to get transcribed in this YouTube video. Does Freeland share Clankety Clank funny mustache man's preference for these particular substances? We don't know, but we do know what she has to say, and it's equally absurd as her movements are in the in just her mannerisms. Delusional Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, writes Paul Mitchell on Twitter here. In one breath, Freeland admits there's a huge housing crisis, but in the next breath, she says that growing Canada's population, which is happening by the millions, by the way, is tremendous social and also economic strength. She's totally clueless.
Canadians across the country recognize that housing is one of our country's biggest challenges and one of our most urgent priorities. I think Canadians are also recognize, Canada is really special in that we are a growing country. We have a growing population. I believe this is a tremendous social and also economic strength. Canadians.
Well, it's also, we have a shrinking economy. I hate to break it to Chrystia Freeland here, but the past 2 quarters, we've been in negative growth, which is the textbook definition of, excuse me, a recession. And that is where we're at right now. Now, none of these politicians want to admit this, but this is the case. Now, Anti-Taxer has put this out on Twitter. It's been exactly 1 year since out-of-touch Chrystia Freeland recommended Canadian families cancel their Disney Plus subscription to help save money. How's that working out?
And I think Canadian families are looking really closely at all of their expenses. I personally, as a mother and wife, look carefully at my credit card bill once a month. And last Sunday, I said to the kids, you're older now, you don't want to watch Disney anymore. Let's cut that Disney Plus subscription. So we cut it. It's only $13.99 a month that we're saving, but every little bit helps. And
every little bit would help if they would get rid of that carbon tax that's just burying people in this country. It's an inflationary tax. Absolutely. Now, moving on, the Liberal Party, Canadians, excuse me, expect their retirement savings will be there for them when they need it, says Chrystia Freeland. This is the Liberal Party actually putting this one out there. And let's get into this.
I do think that it's so important for us to remember 2 things as we work on this together. The first is how important pensions are to Canadians, how important the CPP is to the security that Canadians have, that we know there's going to be something for us at the end of the day when we retire, and how well the CPP works. The CPP, and many ministers said this, it is the envy of the world. It is one of the crown jewels of the financial infrastructure that underpins our country. It underpins our AAA credit rating because...
Wow, so it underpins our AAA credit rating. Well, that would be concerning if this person were to be entrusted with that AAA credit rating financial tool out there to do what she wants with. Holy smokes. It's worse than I thought. The reason why they don't want Alberta to leave the CPP is because the world... this would lead to the complete financial collapse of Canada. It underpins our AAA credit rating, says Sheldon on Twitter, to which people are pointing out what they've been doing with our pension plan. Freeland don't want Alberta to take care of themselves because Canada would lose their AAA credit score, and it would affect how much money she can send to the World Economic Forum. Liberals don't care about anyone but themselves, says Bradshaw on Twitter. Now, this is in response, showing off that the CPP investments have been going to the World Economic Forum. That's correct. That is correct, ladies and gents. And well, would this be a conflict of interest? How would this be a conflict of interest? Perhaps. Let's go check out Chrystia Freeland's profile over on the World Economic Forum. You can go check out little tidbits about her information, things and all of that. Let's scroll right down to the bottom where it shows that, wow, she is a member of the World Economic Forum's Board of Trustees. How in the heck can someone have the job of Deputy Prime Minister of a country and also be the Board of Trustee member of a lobby group that lobbies governments? This can't be right. Can it? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about that. But the Conservative Party is coming out saying Chrystia Freeland will be tabling her fall economic statement soon. The Liberal government continues to overspend, driving inflation and harming Canadian prosperity. Common sense Conservatives will end the inflationary spiral. It's time for Freeland to restrain spending following Freeland's budget. Annual inflation kept rising, reaching a 39-year of 8.1% in June of 2022. Now, the Bank of Canada is trying to keep the inflation down by raising interest rates, and it's been a big reason for a lot of suffering in Canada. But hey, this is the economic policies of Chrystia Freeland and Justin Trudeau. This is the famous statement of Justin Trudeau before becoming, well, no, actually, this is from 5 years ago.
So in this economic climate, how committed to a balanced budget would you be right now? Would it worry you to go into deficit?
My bad. This is from 2014, so before Prime Minister Trudeau became Prime Minister Trudeau.
In this current climate to, as you say, put more people to work?
The commitment needs to be a commitment to grow the economy, and the budget will balance itself.
Oh, okay. The budget will just balance itself. This is what we've been hearing. Now, Milton Friedman, interestingly enough, gives actually a reason why Trudeau's kind of right in this whole scenario. And have a listen here.
Keep your eye on one thing and one thing only, how much government is spending. Because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it through it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing. The thing you should keep your eye on is what government spends. And the real problem is to hold down government spending as a fraction of our income. And if you do that, you can stop worrying about the debt.
Absolutely. You can stop worrying about the debt if the government would stop spending our money. But they're not doing that. Excuse me. Breaking, the Bank of Canada admits government spending could keep inflation up in 2024. Sign here to tell Freeland to reverse spending and stop the inflationary spiral with fall economic statement. That's coming. That's coming. It is coming. It is coming. They're still working on it. This is something else. But of course, this is the government of Canada, and this is where we're at with the financial stuff. Here they are spending more and more money, giving more money to, well, politicians that want to go in the direction that they want to go, which is, of course, spending more money.
I am absolutely convinced that we share the same values, we share the same priorities, and that this government of Manitoba and our federal government are going to be able to do great things together for the people of Manitoba. And today's announcement, this is a big announcement. Together, we're investing close to $500 million.
No, just throwing out another $500 million, but that's where we're at in Canada. Now, what would make Chrystia Freeland happy? We're not sure. We're not sure how much money needs to be spent for that happiness to come, but we do know things that do make her happy. Anyway, we'll leave that one there. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this and all the things we talked about today in this video, and we'll of course see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.